if the decoy drone is touched by melee units, no matter by its weapon or by itself, the decoy drone will instantly trigger an explosion. The explosion comes with an EMP effect, which will immobilize the enemy's strength, and the immobilization duration is 1.6 seconds.
My
With such
Shayla!
effect,
My Shayla!
1.6 second immobilization will be a vital moment, especially during a very intense team fight.
Oh my God.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I just wanted to make a quick video going into the updates that we just recently got. Today we're diving into the latest Mecha BREAK update, and trust me, there's a lot of spicy stuff to cover. We've got striker buffs, nerfs, and some cool changes to MashMak mode, so let's jump in. Alright, let's talk about the big three from the recent tournament. Welkin, Stego, and Luminae. These strikers were basically the popular kids at school. They had a 100% pick rate going into the tournament. That's pretty insane. So the devs basically decided to bring them back down to earth with some well-deserved nerfs, at least 2 out of the 3. Welkin's defense field and Stego's jamming haze got a bit of a reality check. But Luminae is still out here dancing like it's immune to consequences. If you've tried to catch one lately, you know exactly what I mean. As one Redditor put it, trying to pin down a Luminae is like trying to catch smoke. Just when you think you've got it, it's gone. And honestly, they're not wrong. It's got so much energy, it feels like you're punishing yourself for even trying. The community's been vocal, and hopefully the devs are listening. They usually are pretty good with feedback, so hopefully this catches their ear. Luminae is still way too slippery to punish right now. It can heal itself and teammates ridiculously fast, zone out objectives with a constant dot, and make enemies think twice before even engaging, all at once with almost no counterplay. And with the way nerfs have been rolling out lately, yeah, I'd say Luminae is long overdue. A support striker shouldn't be able to do this much, this easily, at the same time. Now let's talk about Inferno. Our favorite flamethrower got some serious love this patch. The devs turned its energy all the way up. Its Aux 3 is insanely good and efficient now, but it may have been an overcorrection. Some players love it. One Redditor even said Inferno finally feels like it can hold its own, but others are starting to wonder if maybe they gave it a little too much gas. With its afterimage movement and survivability up, Inferno is starting to feel like a more aggressive, offensive-based Luminae. And that's got some people raising some eyebrows. It's got the same elusiveness as someone like Luminae, but it's got crazy damage on top of that. I think maybe something like a quality of life buff may have been more in order for someone like Inferno. Maybe make it so his guns weren't as clunky, or maybe he doesn't have to charge it all the way to shoot both guns at the same time. Something like that I think could have gone a long way for this. But with the Aux 3 in the stage that it is now, it may be a little bit overtuned for most players. In fact, I think at this point, if you're properly toggling it on and off, it's always going to be available to you, which could definitely turn out to be a very big problem. Speaking of glow-ups, let's talk about Hurricane. This striker finally got the buff it's been praying for. Its main weapon now deals more damage per tick, and its parry shields EMP any melee striker that tries to test it. That's right, one swing and they're stunned. Reddit's pretty hype about this. Someone summed it up perfectly, saying Hurricane finally has a role and it feels purposeful. But even with the buffs, there's still a bit of a debate over whether it's truly competitive or just less of a meme. Either way, it's finally punching back. Personally, I think it's in a pretty good spot. I would love to see it get a little bit of maybe a speed buff. Right now, it feels like it walks around with lead boots on. I don't think it needs to be that heavy feeling, especially considering that it actually looks a little bit on the lighter side compared to the other ultra heavies in the game. So I don't know why it's classified as so heavy. I think a lot could be gained from just allowing Hurricane to move around a little bit more than it currently does. And I think that would be a perfect buff, in my opinion, to go along with what it currently has. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, let's head into MashMak mode. So they've added some cool stuff, some map-based cargo rockets, gliders that break lock-ons, more extraction points depending on what mode you're playing on. These are solid tweaks, but let's be real. The mode still feels like trash. Players are still asking, what's the point? You drop in, risk your best gear, fight off players and bots, and what do you get? Maybe a mod or maybe a glider piece that you'll probably never use? A Reddit user nailed it and said, MashMak mode feels like an investment with zero return. It's hard to justify grinding when the loot just doesn't matter. Currently, we do have things like the Constantine boss or Makalu, or I believe even the Hellcat boss that we can all do as well. But when you defeat them, they basically just go to one singular team when you get the rewards. But what if there was a quick time event where you had to gather certain materials or qualify to fight a certain boss, and it was time gated within that one match? And not only is it just your specific co-op group that's going into it, but you can actually team up with other teams on the map as well. Basically call a truce to fight off this big boss. Or maybe it's not even a single boss, but maybe it's a swarm or a horde of enemies that you guys all have to defend a certain location from. Pause. Okay, so I'm gonna need Video One Sky to shut the fuck up because Editing One Sky just had an amazing idea. Imagine this, right? You're in the middle of MashMak and suddenly a limited time event triggers. The battlefield shifts and now you and even your rival teams have to call a truce and take on waves of enemies. Dynasty Warrior style, all right? Picture your striker gaining awesome new abilities mid-battle, letting you slice through hordes of enemies all at once, or targeting like a bajillion of them and cleaving through them like a hot knife through butter, all right? That'd be so insane, all right? So insane. It's not even just about survival anymore, it's about mastering the chaos. And how about weaving in some of the story elements? Imagine getting an emergency mission to rescue maybe like the Falcon pilot. Maybe she's in trouble with something, you have to be sent out to try to rescue her. Or maybe you're providing backup for the Stellaris pilot. Something like that would be so insane. And then by achieving victory in it or completing your objective, you get a really cool cosmetic for your reward. Something like maybe a cosmetic from one of the pilots or even a weapon skin for your striker. It doesn't have to be something that is, completely blowing out of the water the current paid skins that are in the game, but something that at least sets you apart and shows, oh wow, this person actually achieved this thing. Or just something that actually rewards the players for their time and just sets them apart and gives them a reason to actually play the mode in the first place. The reward should be something that is at least a few steps above what is currently available in the MashMak mode because they just don't seem worth it. So that would be a great change. Now let's talk about something that still feels way too quiet. The Matrix Marketplace. They added a bunch of quality of life features in the last patch, mainly things like bulk claiming, better sorting, even a fuzzy search. Love that. But what's the point of a search bar if there's nothing new to search for? Right now, most of what you see being sold are the same few style presets that have been up since day one. It's like walking into a boutique and realizing that they haven't changed their inventory in about 2 weeks. It kills momentum, it kills creativity, and it kills the vibe. Here's a thought. What if the devs introduced a featured seller of the day section? Show off community-made styles that are fresh, unique, and trending. Give players a reason to visit the market every day, not just to collect listings that didn't sell, but to actually explore new designs. Or even better, highlight what's actually being bought or sold, like a most traded this week or rising striker styles section. You could promote sellers who had the most sales or designs that got the most saves or views. Maybe something like that. This would spotlight creativity and build a real in-game fashion scene. And look, it doesn't have to be the super overcomplicated thing. Just show a little carousel or fresh uploads each day. Because if I see the same styles of hair as day one again, I'm probably gonna pull out my own hair. Oh, and before I go, now that the patch shook up the meta, yeah, you already know a fresh tier list is on the way. Some strikers went from gods to gone, and a few sleepers just broke into S tier, so stay tuned. So what do you think? Did the devs nail it this patch, or are we still waiting for the real fire? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear which striker you're loving or hating right now, and what you would do to fix the MashMak mode or the Matrix Marketplace. And of course, if you enjoyed the breakdown, slam that like button and subscribe for more Mecha BREAK madness. Catch you on the next one.
Who are the two strikers?
Go.
Welkin versus Hurricane's Perry. Yeah, that's, and this comes out late as fuck. Nah. I'm gonna have to file a formal complaint. Even as the Welkin, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, like he
it's
literally,
not possible for me to do anything.
it literally puts him in a position where he cannot win. Like he's fucked regardless. In fact, not only is he fucked regardless, it literally gives him the worst case scenario.